What's up, y'all? This Anglers in this Barberson TV, and today we got OT Fly. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 200K subscribers. This is part 2. Let's get into it. So if y'all ain't check out part 1, y'all gotta go check out part 1 so y'all be updated on part 2. Fly is this guy from the DC Black page. He's some guy that act like he was a DC shot caller. He called the shots in jail for DC. He's been locked up since he was early teens. He got life in jail, and they end up letting him out because of his sickness. So, all right, let's get into Fly life. Fly ended up on the DC Blacks page doing interviews saying how he was locked in ADX. He was the shot callers, how he was locked in Mermount. I don't know if I'm saying the jail right, but he was locked in all these different prisons all over the U.S., and he was the big dog. He's like the originator of the DC Blacks. That's what he was trying to act like. But the whole time, I called some jail guys from the city, and they explained to me that DC Blacks was created because there's no gangs in jail for the black guys. Like the black guys from DC, they don't have a gang. Everybody else was a gang, so the jails classified them as DC Blacks like way back in the day because they came from Lawton, and everybody had claimed everything. So once they explained that to me, I was trying to ask, all right, so they said, I've never been to jail, y'all, so this is all they said. This is the knowledge I got. When you go to jail, I thought they check your paperwork to see if you high or what your charges is, to see if you can touch the yard, this, that, and the third. But by Holmes being 70 years old, they were saying that generation, bro, he probably already did what he did. Like the people from his generation don't even know. Like it's so long ago. It's the typewriter days. So they was trying to explain to me that he can really get away with it. So long story short, this is what Fly got locked up for. Fly got locked up for the R word while he was locked up in the house with some people for over 8 hours. It was a robbery. And during the robbery of the 8 hours, it was a person, he tied the person up and he performed acts on them and left his DNA all over the scene, this, that, and the third. That was just one thing. He got charged with 4 separate counts of the R word from different situations. Long story short, he ended up getting life in jail. He held somebody in the house for 8 hours at a gunpoint and took but the guy's wild. Long story short, he ended up getting life in jail. Now, once he get life in jail, he doing the R's on the street. You think he stopped doing it in jail and he know he never coming home? He ended up going to a prison. Then once he went to prison, he got in prison and he performed a game. Like he was running with the DC Blacks, but he was fake had pull because he was going hard, I guess. I don't know how he got this pull. Y'all gotta explain it to me. But he was using the guys in different ways. Y'all ever heard of the DC guys out the feds? They got they got a bad name out the feds. They go hard, but it came from Fly and his groups back in the 70s. This started in the 70s before y'all. Fly had some guys that used to tie people down for him, do whatever. He had an influence. He was an influencer in the prisons. He had a big influence. They would do whatever for him. They was tying people down, taking their manhood for no reason, just doing it. Like Fly, this guy so bad. Fly had over 1,000 assaults in jailhouse on inmates that they sent him to ADX for it. I asked, like, how can you get the ADX? And they said for a lot of charges in jail, will send you to ADX. They definitely send you there. That's why he got there. He went to ADX. ADX is where the world's toughest criminals. Al Chapo, Wayne Perry, all the big guys, all the mob bosses from all over the world, all the big guys. That's America's most dangerous prison, most isolated prison. That's underground. They sent them there for having numerous jail offenses on men. They got him sent to the world's toughest prison. Now they sent him to ADX. He shot calling out ADX. At least he said he was shot calling out ADX. But I want to know this though, y'all. How did a tier 3? There's 3 tiers to the R. The word is 3 tiers, 1, 2, and 3. How's a tier 3 being the highest? The tier 3 mean the highest you can get. How's a tier 3 calling the shots for DC Blacks? How's he even home doing interviews? Let's get into that. Bro got life in jail in the 70s, 1976, 8/18/1976. Bro got life in jail. Bro did 50 years in jail. The pandemic came up, but I'm going to get to that. Before the pandemic, I told y'all he had thousands of assaults in jail, sauce on men. Like just straight taking just doing a bodily harm to men. It got so bad that the war sent them the ADX. They signed off on it to send them the ADX. He had that many sauce on men. So now he just sausage crazy. So now in his state, as all that going on, you know they take your medical history. He ended up contracting hepatitis B. He ended up getting hepatitis B, got hepatitis B from male on male contact. Y'all put 2 and 2 together. He ended up getting hepatitis B. So the years he was living with hepatitis B in jail, hepatitis B comes with a certain type of medicine that the jail has to provide for you. But boom, years went on. He survived with the hepatitis B. They giving him this medicine, this treatment. The pandemic ended up coming. And y'all know in the pandemic, everything was pushed back. Paperwork was pushed back. Jobs was not even jobbing. The mail was late. The companies wasn't even sending. His medicine company was backed up on the medicine, so they didn't have the medicine to send him, so he'd die in prison on the prison time. So instead of that, instead of letting him die in prison from the hepatitis B and not getting his medicine, short his medicine pandemic, he found a way to get a jailhouse lawyer and he filed a motion to get out. But he had a life sentence in DC. He had life sentences in different places. So he still had to fight the life sentence in DC, but he knew they would never give him parole a day in his life. He was turning down parole. He had parole hearings for D. He never thought he was coming home. He didn't know what a pandemic was, y'all. So even if he do get out on a life on this case, he still got life on another case that he never went to the parole board. He had 15 years. He did 50 years. He had 15 years of parole, like to go up for the parole board. He never go. He don't even go. Like they knew they weren't letting him out for them charges. So somebody told him he got a chance of getting out on this pandemic because he started saying people leave, like old timers leave with health problems. They was leaving, so he put it together. He went to the parole hearing for that when they ended up giving him parole. I don't know how this happened, though, bro. I don't. First of all, I don't wish jail on nobody but Fly. I don't wish on nobody but Fly. Fly can or go to, or tomorrow. I wouldn't care. Y'all. I don't feel no type of way. I don't wish jail on nobody. But this type of guy need to be in jail. He don't need to be around y'all kids or nothing. I'm gonna show y'all one charge and y'all gonna see y'all. Bro, gotta go. I don't even know how bro out here. So he ended up getting out in the pandemic. They let him out. He got 50 years. He out the door in 50 years, but he gotta register as a sex offender. So boom, he come home, he register as an offender. He on the offender list. He can't be around kids. He can't do nothing towards kids. He's supposed to play the cut. So Eon, DC Black's page made it that they was gonna go link up with Fly, use his jail stories and get him this image of being this big bad villain, this that in DC whole time. He embarrassed. Like this guy is crazy. Then it ain't like you ain't even gotta search. There's nothing you really gotta do. All you gotta do is type his name in. Like there's nothing else you gotta do. Don't you know how you gotta search and go? No, it's like literally just his name in any search box. You can type his name on Google, it's gonna pop up. Offender. Bro got a red flag over his house on Google. They say his name Fly because he just loves you know where it come from. You feel what I'm saying? They say fly from the top tier to the bottom tier for something. You feel me? They said they said they had Fly so nasty. They asked him one day in jail school when he was young, like, Fly, what you want to be when you want to grow up? He said, an astronaut. They said, an astronaut? He said, why? He said, because I'm going to be here a long time. I need some out of this world. What the moon and the stars is going on over here? But we're going to leave that for chapter 3, though, y'all. Now I'm going to tell y'all who his homeboys, who he ran with, and I want to know what they got to talk about. Barberson TV. Send him back. Send him to Mongolia. Barberson.